Gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog. This one, big number 372, and Happy New Year. It is officially 2023, and I would just like to say I'm glad 2022 is over. Personally, it was kind of a rough year. Lost my mother-in-law, a lot of things, but overall, here we are. And personally, I kind of dig New Year's, honestly, because even though it's just a day, it feels like a little bit cleansing for me. And I always am excited for the start of New Year's. It's just exciting. It's like the year is my oyster kind of feeling. Anyway, I hope you guys had an incredible time. I hope you had a good New Year. I hope you're safe. I hope you're healthy. And I hope 2023 is going to be literally the best year of your life. That's what I'm planning for, and that's what I'm hoping for, professionally, personally, and I'm just excited to get 2022 behind me. Something else I was happy to get behind me was Ollie, and that's what I wanted to start the video off with today. I said, hey, do you want the story of Ollie? You guys said, yes, tell us the story of Ollie. So, Ollie is still around, for the record. Brio, the same people that do the amazing, best grooming tool in the planet, these guys, yeah, they actually, the guy Eric that owns Brio bought it from my partners. They bought Ollie from my partners that I had it with. There's a lot to unpack here. Anyway, if you guys want to check out Ollie or get your teeth white, guys, I'm going to link down below to Brio. Go check them out. Show them some love. Show them support, because this is an amazing product. But there are a lot of hurdles. There are a lot of problems when we launched it that gave me kind of a little queasy feeling in my stomach, and it just kind of all fell apart. So the way that it started, Menfluential Conference, I don't even know how many years ago. It was a bunch of years ago, before COVID. We met this dude, Marcus. And Marcus came to Menfluential Conference. He had been emailing with my buddy, Terry. Terry is my partner in the Menfluential media. Well, Terry and Marcus had been communicating, and Marcus is like, hey, I came out with this whitening strip. I'm kind of thinking, this space is a huge space. Are you interested in checking it out? So Marcus came to Menfluential, met Terry. Terry got these strips. He loved them. He tried them. He's like, these things are amazing. So he gave them to me. He goes, Aaron, you got to try these. He's like, I think there's a huge opportunity here, and I think we could possibly start a business and partner with Marcus in order to kind of grow and blow up this teeth whitening thing. And so I tried them, and I fell in love with them. They were amazing, right? And up until Ollie, really the only main players in terms of the teeth whitening strips were like Crest strips, but Crest strips were kind of expensive. And so, one of the other things that you also need to understand is that one of the things that I was hoping to do with this company, Ollie, was help my friend Terry and Brian. Brian is Terry's brother. He also works for Menfluential Media. I was wanting to help them build a business that did not rely on me pitching products and doing promotional videos on YouTube, because with Menfluential Media, a large part of Terry and Brian's income comes from me, right? Because I promote, products, they sell advertising. And so in the back of my head, there's always been this overwhelming, not responsibility, but responsibility feeling. And I've also, I've thought about it. I'm like, well, if I ever don't want to do, YouTube videos, or if I get hit by a bus, what are they left with? Like, what do they have? And these people are my best friends, right? Best friends growing up. Like, I love these guys. They literally are the closest things to brothers to me, or that I have. You know what I'm trying to say? They're the closest things to brothers that I have. And so when Terry approached me, I met Marcus. I was like, all right, yeah, I love this. I'm like, I think we need to change the way that we do it. I think we should kind of make it like a subscription. And so we kind of started a business, or a new entity, and it was 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%. The four of us each had 25% equity in this new business, Ollie. And we basically retooled it and created this system where you start with a transformation kit where you were going to get, I believe 12 strips came, or 12 treatments came in the transformation kit. That's what you get month number one. And then each additional month after that, I forget what the subscription fee was, but it was relatively inexpensive. And for that, we would send you a maintenance kit. And it had 4 treatments. And basically the idea was that once a week you use one of these, and your teeth, after the transformation kit, you use all 12 of those, and your teeth are noticeably, substantially, remarkably whiter. And so we came up with this really cool kind of like strategy. And you know, this model. And we thought, okay, this is a great product. It's an amazing product. And, you know, people want white teeth. And it's something that is light. It's easy to ship. It's also crazy affordable in terms of getting these things made. And so we created this business. And we got excited. We were very excited. I felt like this was a product that it does not require me to pitch it. I felt like women were going to be a huge, you know, sort of market for this. And this was something that I was excited about, because the women and the female space, I didn't have really anything to sell to women. And so this was kind of like that first thing. And we knew that, okay, well, if we get, you know, a bunch of female influencers and TikTok, this was the perfect sort of before and after picture or product, right? Because you try it, you get it. Your teeth are like white in one picture, like yellow in another, like you get it right away. Teeth whitening is easy. It's not hard to explain. There were a lot of things about this product that were right. And if it scaled, my God, we were thinking, you know, gazillionaires, because we knew that it was a great potential product for platforms like Instagram and TikTok. And this was actually before TikTok was really a big thing. So we set up this business, we set up this entity, and we were super pumped and excited. And so we had this company that Marcus had found over in China to manufacture these things. And we had to, you know, first basically be like, all right, we need X number of transformation kits and we need X number of maintenance packs. This is a maintenance pack, and inside, as you can see, you've got 4 little Ollie strips, right? And so the idea was that people were going to subscribe, and it's a subscription, and with Tiege Hanley, you know, subscriptions can be a huge business. And so super pumped, super excited about it. We were having them made, and during that time, we were having the website built. We were really excited. The website looked great. I filmed commercials at my house. We had, you know, some models. Christian filmed the video. And when we launched, we got the products, we launched, and it was amazing. It was huge. I don't remember what the numbers were right out of the gate, but it was incredible. And we were all like, hell yeah, we are like, yes, like it was a huge success. I launched it on my AlphaM YouTube channel. But then we realized very quickly that there was a problem. There was a problem with the strips that we got sent, right? The strips that we had as samples and that we had from Marcus were amazing. But when we got the new samples, or not samples, when we got the inventory from China, the gel was separating from the little like plastic strips that you put in your mouth. And it was a disaster. And right away, we knew we had a problem. We sold a ton of them, but the problem was that it was kind of a defective product. It still worked. It wasn't dangerous, but most of the strips like would separate from the gel and the strip. And so we freaked out. What do? Crap. There were 2 options. Keep selling them, knowing that this literally, if we kept selling these, people are going to be like, shit, this sucks. There's a problem, because, you know, in the world of reviews, like that's what is important. And if people are getting these and think that, you know, and I'm saying they're awesome, keep going, and I kept selling it, my reputation is on the line. And so knowing that we spent all this money on inventory, what do? What would you do? Knowing that we don't have a solution for this yet, we reached out to China and they're like, we don't know what's wrong. Well, here's some other options and here's some possible solutions, but we weren't guaranteed that they were going to give us our money back or we were going to get new inventory. But what do you do? For me, the answer was pretty simple. We got to shut down. We got to stop. We got to stop selling, and we literally have to throw out all of this inventory. I cannot afford professionally and from a you know, kind of like not, I'm not a celebrity, but I cannot endorse something that is not great, because if I do, that ruins my credibility. And that is the one thing that I have, and that's the one thing that I've tried to maintain over the years, is my credibility. And if I say it's a good product, and if I'm selling it and saying this is my company, it's got to be awesome. And so the decision was made very quickly. We got to shut down. And so we shut down, and we basically offered, I believe, and it's all a little bit fuzzy because I think I've kind of blocked it out to some degree. I believe we offered all the people that got or bought initially, we offered them basically a makeup. Like we were going to send you new product when we got it in. Basically to say, hey, we're sorry, but we got to shut down. There's a problem, but we're going to make it right. And so we weren't planning on like getting out of the business, right? We were planning on trying to figure it out and trying to, relaunch it. But we basically got down to our last try in terms of the manufacturer kept sending us samples, and there were like issues with all these different samples and all these problems. We tried different vendors. There was a huge issue trying to get the strips to be great again. And they're like, no, we changed the way that we manufacture them. We're never going back to the way that we manufactured them before. This is the product. And so it came down, it took months. Like it took months to figure it out. But we finally figured it out. Then came the issue of, okay, well, how much are you going to accept responsibility for this bad inventory? And how much money are we going to get in terms of credit to basically get new inventory? And it was not like a one-to-one thing. It wasn't like we bought, and I'm just using weird numbers, $100,000 worth of inventory, and we're going to get $100,000 worth of new inventory. It wasn't like that. It was like, I forget what it was. But during this time, when things were going a little bit haywire and we were shut down, I started to really kind of like think about it a little bit. I'm like, all right, well, man, this could have been a disaster for me personally and professionally. And I kind of lost a little bit of excitement, not a little. I lost my enthusiasm at that point. Another issue that we had was the fact that we were trying to ship this every single month. Even though the margins were good, shipping is expensive. And so we realized very quickly that we were losing a ton of money on the shipping. And so it makes a lot more sense to ship 3 or 4 maintenance packs at a time, or even like a year, selling like a year's worth of Ollie transformation and the maintenance packs, shipping it. It was better financially for us to do that. And so we tooled around and played with and changed some of the ways that we actually would market and deliver this to people. But I ended up getting out of the business and gave my equity back to my 3 partners, Terry, Brian, and Marcus, and they kept it going. And they ended up selling it to Eric over at Brio, which is awesome. And I'm super pumped and excited. I was super excited for them to be able to sort of get out of this business, because I think for them, it was also a time thing. Like, is it worth it? Is it worth our time when their time should be better spent selling advertising and doing different things? And so I think they kind of had a bit of an epiphany that, this isn't something that we want to do long term. The grinding and the legwork it's going to take in order to build it to what it needs to be in order to make it a viable business was more than they were willing to put in or interested in putting in. But it's a perfect auxiliary product for a company like Brio that's already doing and looking for additional products to add to the product and the product line and to proliferate it. And so, Eric took it and is running with it, and he's killing it, right? He's got a built-in audience of all these people that are buying or that have bought beard grooming tools. And he also launched a toothbrush. And so it was a nice, easy sort of transition. And Eric is killing it. He's doing a great job. So Ollie is still going. It was sold, but I have still not sold a business. So, because I had nothing to do with the sale. But I'm pumped. I'm proud of my buddies for doing it. And I still to this day feel a little bit guilty for wanting to get out of it. But I had to be honest, not only with them, but with myself. As I've talked about before, time is your most valuable asset. We all get the same amount. And how you choose to invest this most precious, valuable asset is really up to you. Are you going to spend it and invest it on something that's not going to ultimately pay off, or you're not going to see a return? And would this time be more wisely invested doing something else, or doubling down on the things that is working or the things that are working? And so that is what I chose to do. And everybody is big boys, and they all understand. And it was a good experience, another valuable, very valuable learning experience for me. But nobody can say I didn't. I don't try a lot of things, right? That's kind of my thing. I would rather try it. I would have regretted not trying this, and so I tried it. It wasn't right. It wasn't going to move the needle for me, given how much would have had to happen in order to really build it into a huge brand. And to get it off my back. And so I got it off my back and basically just walked away. But this brings me to you and your amazing business questions. Guys, if you have a business question, down below, start it with business question and ask it. Each week we try to get to some of them. this week is no different. There are some amazing ones for the start of the new year. The first one is from our friend at Manny Baez. He says, "Hey Alpha, congrats on keeping this channel going so long. Since Target hasn't worked out, have you considered Sephora? I love getting my cologne there because I can just spray it and smell it without having to ask somebody to pull the bottle from the counter. Their men's section is small there, but I think Tiege would do great there. What do you think?" I think that Sephora has been on the radar and the topic of conversation. That being said, Sephora, I have a lot of experience, I've got experience knowing, like, okay, so Sephora and Ulta, right? They're kind of like two like places where you go and buy makeup, a lot of women's products. They also do sell men's colognes as well. They also have done men's skincare, right? I believe, I forget exactly what brands, but I know Anthony was in them, Zur was in them. Like, they have had men's brands, skincare brands in there before. I don't know if they still do. They probably have a few. Men's skincare brands don't do super well in places like that because most men aren't going there to actually buy their skincare. They're going to buy, the fragrance, and the percentage of men that actually go into an Ulta or a Sephora is like super, super low. I don't know exactly what it is in terms of the total, in terms of how many women versus men go in, what percentage it is, but I'm guessing like 1%, maybe 2. Actually, let me see if I can pull that up. What percentage of men go into Sephora? It's not even a, I'm a man, I don't want to go. Lots of guys going to Sephora, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not sure what the percentage is, but I know that it's small. And so for us, is it worth the squeeze? Is it worth doing everything we need to do? Maybe, possibly, but at this point, we're kind of just really focused on online and Amazon, and those two areas, we're seeing tremendous growth and tremendous success. Anytime we go into and add a vertical like, retail, that's going to change the dynamics of our business. We're going to have to add, staff. We're going to have to add, different things, and the logistics of that does change a little bit. But I think at some point we will add a retail partner. But at this point, we're kind of focused on the things that are really working. And Tiege grew in 2022 like really, really great. I think we were up like 23%. Like we did really, really well online and Amazon. But great question, and thanks for asking. The next business question comes from our friend, I believe it's W. Kissick. I believe your name is Will from previous questions. What's up, Will? I believe it's Will. I'm sorry. If I screwed that up, I'm sorry. Anyway, you got a great question. He says, "Hi, Aaron. I recently got hired by a company to manage a painting/staining business in my local area in Southern Ontario. The parent company is called Student Works Painting, has given me all of their systems for marketing, sales, etc. They recommend canvassing, door-to-door marketing as one option for marketing. I was wondering, if you were running a service-based business, how would you go about marketing? Any tips you would have for managing employees, as I will have to do this summer and have never formally managed anyone, thanks." So it sounds a little bit like, I don't know, I've never heard of this company, but it sounds a little bit like, it's like an eat what you kill kind of thing, right? And it's probably similar to like the roofing industry or any of the siding industry. There are a lot of service-based businesses out there where basically you are an agent, you'll get an area, and then it's up to you to basically do your own marketing. And it's kind of like a franchise to some degree, but not really, because you're not paying anything pretty much to get in, and they're probably giving you some type of stipend for a little bit. I don't know. They may not. Anyway, the door-to-door thing is definitely something. I also would possibly look into buying like a mailing list, and you can do like promotions, and you can do like not emails. You could also do email marketing. If there was a way for you to get I know that there are ways for you to get email addresses of people in your area, but for you, it's all about a proximity, right? It's within 25 miles probably. And the cool thing is that with Google, you can do a lot of advertising that is very targeted, very focused, all right? So it does not require you to go and just, hammer, knock on doors and stuff like that. But I think you got to work smarter as opposed to harder. If there are I don't know, offer like free quotes. I think mailing lists, mailing list mailers still work. Also the coupon books, they still work. To what degree they work, I don't know. When I was doing like Move It and these different fitness centers, that was a big thing, right? Getting in these coupon books and going and the coupon books, you know what I'm talking about, right? There are all these coupons in like a little booklet that basically sits on the counter in stores and restaurants and stuff like that. And when you're waiting, you'll pick it up and you'll find it. Right now with the internet, I don't think that is as viable of a advertising or marketing mechanism as it used to be. Kind of like billboards and stuff like that. But that stuff still works. And so I would definitely look into direct mailers. They're super affordable in terms of sending it out. It's a lot cheaper than like, how much a stamp costs. And you can get very targeted in terms of buying mailing lists in your specific area, in a specific demographic, and they've gotten really good at figuring out what the demographic is in terms of, are they college educated, what the percentage or what the price of the house is. Like all those things are going to be needed to be taken into effect, because if somebody lives in an apartment, they're probably not going to be as apt or likely to have you spend a few $1,000s or to hire somebody to do a few $1,000s worth of painting. That's probably going to be a homeowner. Also, the price point of the home is probably going to be a factor in terms of getting people. But like I said, the internet is also another amazing way for you to run like Google ads. But the one thing I will say is that in painting, that is a very competitive market. And so you're going to have to, I don't know what you're going to have to bid in order to get, traffic, but it's something to definitely look into, because the internet is a lot broader and people, are going there and searching for painting. And so I'd probably go there. Also, if there's any like local, the local businesses, right? The business associations, and going and doing, the Chamber of Commerce. But the problem there is that everybody there knows a painter probably, and there are probably a lot of painters that have been there, but it's worth going and talking to them. Also, here's another one. Maybe market and go to realtors, right? Because realtors are meeting with a lot of people, a lot of painters, and a lot of times before they sell a house, you might have to have it painted, or maybe that is the nugget of valuable information I just gave you. Going and marketing your service to realtors. It's a hot real estate market still. I believe it's still pretty hot, and they are in contact with a lot of people. Maybe go to a real estate agency and talk to them, or see what you can do in order to give them some type of kickback or something. I don't know. I'm just saying there are options, and that I think is a really, really, really good idea. Instead of going door to door, maybe go to the realtors, and that is where you start. But that's what, now thinking about, that's what I would do. So the next business question is a great one from our boy Shane Melcha. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. You always hit me with some thought-provoking questions. He says, Father Time is undefeated. As you've said, we only have a certain number of hours each day and a specific amount of time on Earth. Events have happened in my life and have made me change directions and use what I have accumulated to enjoy life more with my friends and family and spend less time working, knowing my time is precious and finite. I know you're an extremely hard worker, and I'm wondering if you've ever thought about this as well, especially now since your wife has made the decision to retire. So this question, yes, it is something that I've thought about. I just don't know. I don't know the answer. My businesses and entrepreneurship and YouTube is kind of like what I love doing, and I can't think of anything I would prefer to do. And so thinking about what I would do when I'm not doing something I love doing, it's hard for me to do. It's hard for me to think about. But I do think about it. I think about, it would be pretty awesome to get up and not have to worry or stress out about the numbers. It would be pretty awesome to not worry or stress out about views or doing content or making, that would be awesome. It seems awesome, or it sounds awesome to me some days. But would I miss it? Would I miss having that challenge? Because that's the other part for me, is that I thrive on challenges. And every day I've got new challenges to face. Every day I get up and I'm still trying to figure it out. The other thing is that I've got a huge chip on my shoulder. Growing up the way that I grew up, I feel like I'm still trying to prove every day something to myself and the poor little kid in me and the kid that had really low self-esteem. And this is something and my outlet to scratch it. And for so long, the majority of my life, I was scratching and clawing, trying to get and become like somewhat successful. Not somewhat, I was trying to be successful. I didn't know what it was until I found YouTube, and my perception of success has changed, but I feel like I'm successful now because I get to do what I love. I also get to take care of a lot of people or help them. And this for me is something that I'm incredibly excited to do. And so, I don't know. I think someday I may be like, you know what? Peace. I'm tired of this shit, right? But it's not yet, and I haven't really afforded myself the opportunity or the luxury to really look that far, like long-term, downrange. I think when it happens, it happens. If it's decided for me, it's decided for me. But if I got hit by a bus tomorrow, I still did what I wanted to do, like, you know, for the majority of the past, 15 years. And so for that, it's awesome. And I feel very fortunate to be able to do what I do and love what I'm doing. And so I'm still riding that ride, and I'm loving it every day. It's hard, but I'm still loving it. The next business question is from our friend Chronolarjazala 8475. He says, hey, sir, my question is, what is the safest online way to receive international payments from sponsorship, like, for example, Instagram sponsorship, YouTube, safest? I don't know. PayPal seems pretty safe to me. PayPal's pretty safe. I got a Tiege Hanley meeting with Rob and Kelly in a second. PayPal's fairly safe. The problem with PayPal is that if anybody disputes it, you're kind of effed because they always pretty much decide in the favor of the person disputing it. But I would say PayPal. I pay a lot of like influencers via PayPal. Still, Menfluential pays a lot of people through PayPal. So I would say PayPal is probably pretty safe. If you guys watching have a better solution or answer down below, please help our buddy out. But that is a good problem to have. Having people pay is a good thing. The last business question I'm going to get to is another like YouTube question. Guys, if you have a business question or I didn't get to your question today, please start it with business question and ask it again, copy and paste it. I literally have like 5 minutes before I have to hop on a call with Rob and Kelly to talk business. Anyway, the business question is from our friend Logan M. Stover. He says, hi, Aaron. I recently was talking with Alex Costa about starting on YouTube, and he gave me some good pointers about fashion, lifestyle, personal finance niche, and that I will be pursuing. I wanted to ask you for some insight as well. Would you recommend just starting with some smaller, straight to the point type videos, or the breakdowns that you, Alex, and Jose do seem to make kind of, I would be overthinking. Okay, so yeah, you're overthinking it. Do whatever you think is right and what you feel is like good and what you enjoy doing. Don't think of it as, I need to make this type because this is what people are watching. Just make what you want, right? You've been thinking about this for a minute. You've been reaching out. You've been asking people. The first thing you got to do is start, right? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to be an expert at? And then at that point, just do it. Just do it. Do one video. That's the hardest one to make. That's the one that most people fail to make because they overthink it and they're worried and they make it and it's not perfect and it doesn't get 1 million views right out of the gate. Gentlemen, you're not going to do that, right? Just start. Do whatever you want. I'm not going to say what to do, what not to do. One thing and tip I would give you, if there is somebody in your sort of space like me, Alex, or Jose, go to our videos and sort them by most popular, knowing that there was a market for those type of videos, and maybe that's a way for you to start, right? I've often said that's a way to hack the system, right? Go to popular people that are similar to what you want to do, search their videos, look for the most popular, and then do your spin, your take on that, because you know that it's going to be resonating with some people. If it was popular once, it's going to be possibly popular again. And also the thumbnails, like maybe use those as inspiration as well. But don't overthink it. The most important thing that you can do is to start. Make a video. This is the year, 2023. It is here. Gentlemen, if you've been putting off or thinking about starting something, now's the time. Do not put it off anymore. You've done your research. You've done your homework. Now, act. Jump. Because I can tell you, you're going to screw things up. You're going to have to adjust. But the hardest thing to do is to start. Start, gentlemen. Now is the time. 2023 is here. It's a fresh year for all of us. And personally, I am glad to have 2022 behind us. If you have a business question, once again, start it down below with business question and ask it. Each week, I try to get to a few of them. Next week, how about a house update? Would you like that? If you're still watching, let me know down below. Yo, Alpha, tell us about the abode, because a few things have happened. Gentlemen, we love you more than our double monk strap shoes. And once again, Happy New Year.